Alright, today I'm doing another Q&A, and I have the perfect question to kick this off with. Javier asks, I would love to see a video about your thoughts on the new Star Wars films. Now, I'm not going to make a big video about it, but I will talk about it right here. And of course, the main thing I'm going to talk about is The Last Jedi, because that was the most recent film, and there was a lot of hate for that film. A lot of people upset about a lot of stupid stuff. And really, as far as I can tell, that's kind of what it comes down to. I can understand why you wouldn't love this movie. There are some problems with it. There's some weird scenes. There's a bit in the middle that just kind of felt really out of place and probably could have easily just not have been there. But overall, I thought it was a fantastic movie. I thought The Last Jedi was pretty awesome. Quite frankly, I think it's the best movie that Disney has done so far. Better than The Force Awakens and better than Rogue One, which I really liked. The Force Awakens I didn't care too much for, partly because I wasn't looking for just A New Hope, and they just kind of remade A New Hope. But The Last Jedi is something very different, and I'm honestly really excited to see what Rian Johnson does in the future, because he's been signed on to help produce a whole new Star Wars trilogy. So I'm really interested in seeing what he does with completely new characters that isn't being shackled by any of the original stuff. So yeah, that's my opinion on The Last Jedi. It's pretty good. It's not nearly as bad as people want you to think it is, because honestly, if you really look at it, the amount of people that actually think it's bad is much smaller than it looks like. It's just another very vocal minority group that really wants you to think their way, but honestly, not a lot of people actually do think that way. I'm fairly certain most of those people wanted to hate this movie no matter what. J.O. Costa asks, hi man, really love your work. What are your thoughts about the Sith from KOTOR and after Darth Bane with the rule of 2? The Sith from KOTOR are probably some of the best the best bad guys in general that have ever been introduced in Star Wars. Right up there with Thrawn. I'm really happy to see Thrawn back in Star Wars Rebels. Revan, just an amazing character, amazing storyline. Darth Malak, just a really fantastic villain for that game. For the Sith in KOTOR 2, not quite as good, but at the same time, very unique and very interesting to see. And after Darth Bane with the rule of 2, oh god, I used to know tons of stuff about Star Wars. I don't remember too much anymore. I'd say for the most part there are a lot of good villains. Darth Bane is somebody in himself is a very interesting character. I would really love to see Disney do something with that character. Maybe a TV series, even just a comic book, but I think a movie revolving around that character, especially something where that character is the main character, that'd be very interesting to see. I'd be very interested in that, because Darth Bane is a very cool Sith Lord. Nerds R Us asks, from 1 to 10, how much of a nerd are you? I probably wouldn't be considered a nerd at all. So I guess maybe 1, maybe a 2. Maybe I fit into some of the definitions. I don't know too much about what the definition of a nerd, but I can tell you this. I am definitely not an actual nerd. Terms like nerd and geek get thrown around a lot for people who aren't actually nerds or geeks. And I definitely used to be a geek. I was 100% a geek. I was all into the computer stuff. I was originally going to do that as my career. That didn't pan out. As you can tell, I'm doing this instead. That was back when a geek was somebody who was really good with computers and things like that. And then all of a sudden, the term got hijacked, and suddenly everybody was a geek. You could be a comic geek. You could be a football geek. They were just adding geek onto everything, and they're like, oh, geek is chic, and oh, geeks are hot, and nerds are cool now. No, they weren't. You just changed the definition. You changed the barrier. You made the popular kids. You took the popular kids and you called them nerds or called them geeks. They were cool before. You just changed what you called them. Missy Ann asks, love your videos and your attitude in general. It's very sweet and uplifting. That's good to hear, even though I don't consider myself a very sweet or uplifting person, but I'm glad I'm lifting up your spirits. I am curious though, what are your thoughts on the Knights of the Nine quest line and faction, and your thoughts on the Dragon Age series for a bit of a difference in topic? I'm going to talk about the Dragon Age series first real quick. So Dragon Age, the first one, is a very, very awesome game. When it came out, I was something that I was really ready for, a nice high fantasy RPG. Then Dragon Age 2 came around, and that was a massive disappointment because it was so different. Suddenly it was more of an action adventure game than the RPG stuff. They changed a lot of it. They changed the way combat worked. They changed the whole feel of the game. And then Dragon Age Inquisition came out, and they tried to meet in the middle somewhere between the first one and the second one. And honestly, Inquisition just felt like an MMO without the people. So I'm not a fan of the sequels, but the first one is really good. I will probably do something with it on this channel eventually. I don't know when I'll get around to it, but it is a very good game. Quite frankly, I consider it the actual spiritual successor to KOTOR, to Knights of the Old Republic. When Mass Effect came out, BioWare was saying, "Oh, this is our spiritual successor to KOTOR." And it wasn't at all. There was some things that were similar. It was in space. It was mostly an RPG. But Dragon Age, even though the setting was very different, the gameplay really felt kind of like a more modernized KOTOR. Nintendo the shitposting god asks, which Bethesda game is your favorite other than the Elder Scrolls series? Oh man, that's a tough one. Probably Dishonored is my favorite. Dishonored is a really it's a really good game. It's a really good, I mean, it just focuses on the stealth stuff, the magic stuff, and it doesn't worry about all the kind of extra nonsense that a lot of games try and shove in there. Banana Lover 242 asks, are Jawas your favorite race in Skyrim? JK, love your videos. I don't know why I said that. Yes, Jawas are my favorite race. You know what? Before I said Dark Elves are my favorite race, but you know what? Jawas got them beat. Jawas, they're the greatest. They're the greatest Elder Scrolls race that's ever been come up with. They're little scavengers. They're going around through Nirn, scavenging all kinds of mechanical parts. Those Jawas. Abdul Rahman Al Yawar, I'm sorry if I messed up your name. I probably did. What do you think about KOTOR 2? KOTOR 2 is a very good game. I feel like I'm saying that a lot this episode. KOTOR 2 is, I think a few weeks ago, I just played through almost all of KOTOR 2 because I just really felt like it, because it's just a really fantastic game. KOTOR 1 and KOTOR 2 are two of the few games where I ever replay ever in general. I would say to some extent it's not as good of a game as KOTOR 1, but when it comes to replaying it, it's still really fantastic and just a great game overall. Austin C asks, which arena did you like better, Terrace Arena in KOTOR or Imperial City Arena in Oblivion? I'm gonna have to go with the Imperial City Arena in Oblivion. The Terrace Arena is nice, but overall it doesn't have the same kind of feel. It just kind of feels like something you do to get some experience points. Whereas the Imperial City Arena, there's a lot more story going. I mean, there's not tons of story, but there's definitely some elements of that. You feel more connected to what's going on, and you feel more empowered with each victory you have. Whereas in the Terrace Arena, you just you take them out and then you move on, and then it doesn't matter too much. Joey Joe asks, do you think the Creation Club will be in future Elder Scrolls or Fallout? Absolutely, 100%. You can guarantee it's gonna be there, without a doubt. It's absolutely not going away. For people who think it's gonna go away, I'm sorry, but it's just not happening. Emma Cosgrove asks, do you think there are any provinces that Bethesda definitely won't make a game based around? To some extent, yes. I think when it comes to mainland Tamriel, I think eventually they will do all of them. I don't think they're going to get to High Rock for a very long time. And I also think Black Marsh is probably going to be low on that list also. As for places they definitely won't go to, I don't think they'll ever go outside of Tamriel. I don't think they'll ever go to Akavir. So that's I mean, I could be wrong. I don't really know, but that's my best guess as to what's going to happen. A lot of people do ask for Akavir, and I don't think it's coming. I'm sorry, guys. Demo the Dragon asks, hi, so I've been wanting to get ESO for a while now, but I haven't really played an MMO before. Do you have any suggestions on some good MMOs for people like me who haven't played them before? Also love your vids. Honestly, ESO, Elder Scrolls Online, is probably a pretty good jumping off point when it comes to MMOs. It has a sort of familiar feel to Skyrim and Oblivion, while at the same time also having a very MMO kind of feel. It really, I mean, I would say it feels more like an MMO than anything else, but it's pretty easy to get into. It's pretty easy to understand what's going on. There's not as much technicality and complexity as a lot of MMOs. So that's my opinion on that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you guys on Tuesday with a Let's Play, and then I'll see you guys next weekend with something I've been working on. Actually, I was thinking it was going to be coming out this weekend, but then I realized it was taking more time than I thought. So it's going to be coming out next weekend instead. I will see you guys then. Goodbye.